Oh, mics. All right. Sorry about that. I thought these mics are working. Siatanda Kapa, it's your name, isn't it? Siamtanda. Siamtanda Kapa, yes. Thank you very much. Your question is whether these internal processes, selection processes of the ANC are worth the trouble involved if the list still contains names of people who are facing certain allegations, or certain allegations are leveled against them. Yes, indeed, it is a worthy exercise. It was a very rewarding exercise in the sense that it ensured the rigor necessary to select nominees who will no doubt add value in Parliament. The issue of people who are facing allegations, I think the SG will deal with that, because the Electoral Committee's role was to implement the rules, and those who had criminal records were excluded without any, prevarication. And so for those who are facing certain allegations, there are processes that the ANC had to set in motion. Part of those processes include the fact that they had to appear before the Integrity Commission, and where the Integrity Commission made certain recommendations to the National Executive Committee. The National Executive Committee was structured with the authority to then finalize those matters. And to the extent that as the Electoral Committee, we did not have very definitive findings against people who are facing certain allegations, we couldn't, as the Electoral Committee, exclude them from the list here. Thank you. And then I think it's Raymond. It's a similar question, that are the internal processes of the ANC taking precedence over the Zondo Commission? The answer to that is that no. The Zondo Commission reports in certain instances recommend further investigations of certain individuals that it lists. It did not itself make any definitive findings against some of the people. And so the internal processes of the ANC are really to refer such cases for the mere fact that you are mentioned to the Integrity Commission. And if you explain to the Integrity Commission as to why you are mentioned in the report, the Integrity Commission then makes a recommendation to the National Executive Committee, which is then considered by the National Executive Committee. But there's no, undermining of the work that the Zondo Commission did. It's processing it to some finality, as it were, because some of it, the NPA still has to act on it, and the Hawks and so on. And so the ANC has to also use its internal processes, not by so doing, not really throwing the Zondo Commission reports into the waste bin. It exists, and the processes flowing out of it will be followed to the letter. And the internal processes of the ANC also are meant to help the organization to adopt a stance that is informed and not just on the basis of what exists in the grain, and is communicated through the social media and so on. So the ANC has to follow its own processes as well. Thank you. Thanks, Max.
Thank you very much for the questions. News 24. The people who are affected in terms of the report, that's the first question. We will answer that. Is the ANC held at ransom by ANC members? The ANC is not held at ransom by its members. The ANC is following the due processes that affect each and every individuals who themselves have got rights. So there's nothing that is fudged or put under the carpet and not been addressed by the National Executive Committee. I've given you a full account that we've had 20 people who appeared on the Zondo Commission from NEC members who retired and those, some of them who are serving. Of that 20, we had 6. Of these 6 only appear on the ANC 2024 candidate list. And then each one of them have actually been attended to. So there's no member of the ANC who's holding the organization at ransom. I think there could have been a misinterpretation. It's very difficult to interpret Vernac to English. So sometimes the interpretation of what I said in English becomes something else. So it's close as totally confounding. So so nobody is left off the hook in terms of these matters. Of course, we are concerned about the IEC leakage, but we're confident that the IEC body is very much capable to deal with any anarchy that may arise, like the leakage of the ANC list and so on. We've got full confidence in the Independent Electoral Commission, because how you run, you first admit, because people were asking who leaked the information. IEC then confirmed that it came from IEC, because that list was gathered, and up until we sent it to IEC, an hour after we submitted, right on time, it was leaked, and also with some other party that we are challenging in court next week. Their list was also leaked, but you could see it's a family affair versus the movement of the people, like we actually explained in terms of the list. And we will give you the ANC list today. We will release it to all platforms for you to see it, from the provinces, province to province, province to national, and as well as the national list. that we submitted. So the question of the threats, we expect that the state and the rule of law must be maintained. Now that the date of the elections has been announced and we are in the full election mode, individuals and their political parties must be held accountable. You know the code of conduct, what it means. Some other people have been a problem here in the ANC and they've left with their anarchy and they are showing it somewhere, that anarchy, promoting lawlessness, anarchy, no sense of governability and all of that. The law must take its course and the IEC must act. No one has got the right to threaten democracy in our country. If you've got problems and challenges, argue those like we are doing. We have taken MK Party, which is our trademark. We have taken it to court. That's the basis. We've got no problem with Jacob Zuma forming a political party, even if he can name it after himself. We don't have a problem about that. But the fact that you take the trademark of the ANC, we will challenge that. The same as when COPE was formed, we lost the case in court because we believed that the Congress of the People was the brainchild of the African National Congress. But we lost in court because we could not provide to court that COPE was the trademark of the African National Congress. And we lost in that way. So Umkhonto weSizwe is known trademark of the ANC, and we are challenging that in court, and nobody is going to threaten us from not doing that. In April last year, we won the case through the IEC against the Umkhonto weSizwe to be registered as a political party. It resurfaced, and the claim is that we did not oppose the Gazette. But those things are tested in court. So there are two levels in terms of Umkhonto weSizwe party. We are challenging them for deregistration, and we are also taking them on in relation to our trademark. So the first case will be next week, Tuesday, in Bloemfontein. And then the second one, it has been agreed, will be around 27th of March in terms of the trademark. So that's what is going to happen. News 24. Let's disabuse ourselves about this notion that we did nothing. We are doing nothing about Zondo. The ANC we signed and supported the Zondo Commission. We supported the Zondo Commission. We supported that our members who are implicated in their own individual right must appear before the Zondo Commission. And Zondo has made specific recommendations about individuals that they must be investigated. If people are arrested, the ANC will act on that like we have done. Mkulua, Comrade Kgalema have just addressed you on the issue that in our list, we had people who were on a step aside, they were not allowed on the list. We had people who had a criminal records and then were taken off the list. That's what has happened. Nobody who's on a step aside who's on the ANC list. The comrades who appeared in Zondo and there are adverse findings by the Integrity Commission, the rule says, and we're not hiding technically behind rules. Let's explain to you. The rule says no one will be eligible to stand if they've gone to the Integrity Commission, they've got adverse findings, and those findings are confirmed by the National Executive Committee. So in relation to these members of the ANC who are in the list, their cases have not been confirmed by the National Executive Committee, and the National Executive Committee is due to process a host of cases which come from the Integrity Commission that affect individuals. And that is why in our statement we say they will be reassessed. If you are in the list and the NEC then endorse the findings of the Integrity Commission, your standing as a public representative, if you are elected, you will be reassessed. That's what we are explaining. So we allow the due process to follow, and that's it. Now, if you decide individually that you step aside on your own, it's an individual case that you take. Maybe you're guided by your conscience, you decide, I don't want to go through this route, let me step aside. But there is no basis to remove anybody in terms of the list, in as far as the rules of the ANC are concerned. So that is the point that we need to clarify to everybody so that you understand. There's no list that is littered with people who've got adverse findings and a decision has been taken and the NEC has decided to ignore that. No. With some of the people who are also in the list, there are current developments in terms of their status. Some are affected by ethics issues in Parliament and they've been exonerated, and some have not been exonerated. So these are the matters we are dealing with in the organization. Our list process has been very, very transparent and rigorous. It's not a boardroom list. We understand some political parties is very easy. You sit in a house, draft a list with your family, and then you have a national list for the elections. Others sit in a boardroom, a political party, they decide. Ours is very tough. We're contesting everywhere in this country, and then that's why we address issues of demographics, traditional leadership, people with disability. The national question in our list must be reflected, and then that's what we've done. Our list has got 53% women and has got 40% young people, and some of them are here. Let me see the list. Let me just show you, and then they will just stand up so that you see them. I don't have their curriculum vitae, but I think they've gone to school. They are well educated. So we've got Fasia, stand up. Hassan, she's in our candidate list, national to national. Comrade Steve Litsike is also on our list. Comrade Zugogo Limpi, Comrade Megan Chauke Adoris is here also on our list. Comrade Andres Nel is also here, our own Mlungu. Yeah, so, but it's not only him. We're just giving you the taste of what is in our list. Our list is very diverse in terms of what we have presented to South Africans. So we know issues of integrity cannot be taken mildly, and we don't take your questions to us about people who are affected by integrity issues as a menace and an irritation. It is important because we are a party that have fully committed itself to integrity issues. So when you as the media, I'm not patronizing you, ask the question, you are holding us accountable against what we have committed ourselves to. That's correct. So don't think you are irritating us, waking me at night and all of that and so on. It's proper. SG, why is Soros so on the list? Because from our information, we have learned this and that about him or her. It's important because that's, we said we want to be held accountable with high standards. And that's what the ANC said. It's not me, it's the ANC conference. And that's what we're implementing. And I'm explaining to you that we met even late at night to discuss matters of integrity. Of course, there are distortions there and there that we need to correct. President did not run away. He recused himself. Paul Mashatile, our deputy president, was chairing the meeting. All right? President Thabo Mbeki was there. Did he speak? Yes, very good. He didn't endorse wrongdoing. He simply explained that it is important that these issues are processed. So I saw a report that said Mbeki endorses wrongdoers in the ANC. That's not correct. I know you get information from people who are leaking, people generally who've got no love for their organization, the ANC, who just leak information unprovoked. Why? We don't know why people will do that. Even when they leak, they distort the truth. Mbeki was the last to speak in that meeting, and he was firm as always on matters of integrity. When I met with the Electoral Commission, they were firm also. And then they said, I gave them the report of the Integrity Commission. And then they came back to me. I said, who of these people I've given you appear on our list? They gave back the report. These are the following. Issues that we did not even discuss is the issue of people who are on step aside. They were taken off our list. So that's what we've done. So if Jacob Zuma was, for instance, in the ANC list, we would have taken him out. Without, I'm just giving an example. Because he's on a step aside. And he would have been on a step aside of the ANC. So it was a tough one. From the president to the last person, all people went through interviews. President sat there with the Electoral Committee for 2 hours on the interviews. This job is not complete. Now, Mkulua, we are supposed to do, we're going to employ what we call on our public representatives, they must do lifestyle audits. That's the job we are going to now. And then process even the matters of the Integrity Commission, not only for these ones who appear now, but generally, those outstanding matters must be processed. Again, I saw a report that says the ANC NEC defies Integrity Commission. It's not true. We didn't defy. If we defied, it would have never been a subject matter. We know, of course, people wanted us to take a decision there and there that these people don't qualify, but we can't do that without following the rules, because litigation will work against us. People go to court and challenge us, even on any other matter, that no, you've got rules, but you don't respect those rules. And courts have not been kind to the ANC, where we have even found wanting on our constitution and the rules we have set for ourselves. They've ruled against us. So we've got experience from the courts that we've got to respect our rules and our decisions. So that's what we have done. So nobody has got a power to defy the Integrity Commission. The backlog on the Integrity Commission report is that, not this Integrity Commission chaired by Frank Chikane, is because these reports were there in the organization and they were not processed. Ace Magashule just sat on reports. Look at you in the face, report? No. So that's why we've got a backlog. He didn't. I'm not doing that. You appear before the Integrity Commission, the NEC, I put it there, must decide. There are about 5 people now who are not even in the list, who have appeared before the Integrity Commission, and there is a finding on them. So the NEC must process that. So that's what the National Executive Committee needs to do. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Engos.